Guys, welcome to tonight's
Hey
Facebook
guys.
Live. You guys, have you ever felt like you don't have a story to tell? Okay, have you ever thought that? Have you ever heard from somebody else that
You felt that way?
I just don't have a story to tell? Let us
Yep.
know if you've ever been there, if that's ever been you, or if you've heard that, because that's something that comes up a lot for a lot of entrepreneurs. And tonight we're going to be sharing one thing that's going to help you to discover your story, and then also how that can also help you connect with your audience.
Absolutely.
Okay?
You guys, if we haven't met before, my name is Tim Graff.
And I am Becky Graff.
And we help home business entrepreneurs leverage powerful online strategies to create the perfect lifestyle business.
Yes. And so here's a big deal, okay? We've been talking a lot about tips and tactics to be able to connect with your audience.
Yep.
We would love to have participation, so as you're hopping on, please let us know where you're coming in from so we can give you a shout out, so we can have this be interactive. Because,
yeah, you guys say hello.
Yeah, because the more you put into these lives, the more you get out of them.
Exactly.
Asking questions so that we can really help connect with you where you're at and things that you're struggling with. And as we go through this piece, the story piece, okay? Most of the time you hear all the time from your upline, all over the place, you need to tell your story.
Yep.
Okay. And you would be amazed at the amount of clients and students that we work with that struggle pulling their story out. And to be fair, we did as well.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, I've said the same thing over and over again. Who wants to hear my story? Okay. Have you ever felt that way before? If you've ever thought like I've shared my story either too much and nobody else wants to hear it, or you just don't know how to share your story. You don't have the story, the rags to riches, or the huge life-changing moment that a lot of people do, right? As you see them walking stage,
Yep.
They have these amazing stories. You're like, mine doesn't match up to that. Have you ever felt that way?
Well, see, and a lot of times we also, we feel like we don't have that story, but it's a lot of times because we're not diving deep. We're not looking at specific events, okay? We're being extremely general with, our past, where we came from, where we're going. We're just kind of skimming the surface of what our story actually is instead of diving deep into, and I'm going to give it away, what we're going to be talking about a little bit tonight here, those specific moments in time.
And here's the thing with specific moments in time. Again, this is something that comes up a lot for students is, well, this doesn't relate to my marketing journey. You guys, the specific moment in time does not necessarily have to be related to like your company, your product, or something in that realm. It's about you, your life.
Exactly.
How things were, what specific thing changed, what was that moment that made you connect to needing a different change, whether that was with the help of a product or whether that was with the help of a company. Okay, that's one specific moment in time. But as you continue on your journey, there are multiple moments in time, and we're actually going to cover how that relates to your business tomorrow. So make sure that you join us here tomorrow as well. But really, you guys, everybody has a story. Okay, and your story is very impactful. How come? How come your story is impactful? And you may be sitting back there saying, my story is not impactful, okay? I don't have this big story to share, but everything that you do share with your audience is impactful because it's a different perspective. It's something different that they haven't heard before. And when you dive deep and you get very specific, okay, on those very specific moments in time, you connect with your audience.
Keep in mind also, you guys, we hear this a lot, okay? We get on calls with people and we hear all the time, I don't have a story. I just don't have anything to share. Or my story's not impactful. Who's going to get benefit from it? So keep in mind, if that's the way you're feeling, and how many of you can relate to this, okay?
Let us know.
And,
okay?
I feel like, oh man, my story's just not impactful. I don't have anything to share, okay? If you can relate to that, well, guess what? You're going to be relatable to so many people that are out there that feel the same way. So you may feel as if you don't have anything to share, like your story's not impactful, but guess what? By sharing those little pieces of your story that you feel aren't important, you're going to connect with everybody else out there that feels the exact same way. And suddenly they're going to realize, oh, wait, my story is impactful just like her story or his story is, okay? So you're going to connect. That's the thing that a lot of us don't realize.
Yeah, and it's really interesting too, because we get so, as entrepreneurs, okay, we get so up in our heads about stuff. We prejudge, and then again, you're going to hear this language, right? Don't prejudge anybody, okay? don't prejudge your story and the impact that it's going to have on your audience.
Absolutely.
Because you never know who's watching you, especially on social media. You never know how your story is going to resonate with them. Okay.
Yep.
You never know the impact it's going to have unless you actually share it. If you don't, then obviously it's not going to make an impact because you haven't shared it. Nobody's heard it. Nobody's seen it. Nobody has had an opportunity to get any value from that.
Yep.
But when, again, those specific moments in time, a couple things to think about is, number one, what was it that prompted you to become an entrepreneur? What was going on? Not just like I wanted to have more time freedom, or I want to have more money, or I wanted to retire my spouse, all great things. But what was going on in your life?
Yes.
What was that specific moment in time that flipped the switch for you to say, I've got to make a change?
Yep.
Okay. And I'll just share, if you don't guys, you don't mind if I share our little piece. Okay. So for me,
Not at all.
and Tim and I, we work our business together, but
Yes,
we each have different moments in time that have made an impact in how we move in our business, how we connect with people.
We also have different strengths. Okay.
Yeah. And so
there are certain skills that I have that Becky may not. Okay. And vice versa.
But when
so
it comes to
we
story,
kind of play off different sides of the coin, if you will.
But when it comes to story, specific moments in time, which is what we're talking about today on this live, is for me, it was the realization that, so I had a really good friend who lives in Colorado. Okay. Her husband was actually going to a new job and was in a terrible car accident. My eyes were opened. I remember the specific moment in time. I was actually on the phone call with her after the accident happened, and listening to her just pour her heart out about her situation and the financial trouble that they were in. And my limited viewpoint at that point was, well, there's insurance, right? There's car insurance, there's medical insurance. The other people were covered. So the medical bills and all those things are going to be taken care of. Reality of it is, in their situation, is his accident was such that he had to relearn to do a lot of things. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm not going to dive deep into the details, but I remember being on the phone with her, having her just tell me what was going on, and have the realization that the security that I thought that we had in our life at that point in time was a very false sense of security. We relied on other people for a lot of things. There was a huge possibility that Tim would be hurt in his current profession.
And that's kind of where...
And what that would have done for us in our business is what really prompted me to say, okay, what is it that we can do differently now? You know, we had already kind of like dabbled in the industry, but what is this actually going to do for us? How does this actually change things? What was that vision? I didn't have a vision, okay, until that specific moment in time when I realized this is the opportunity for me to truly create the life that we want, with the security, with all the things that I didn't have access to at that point. So that for me was a very specific moment in time that really changed the trajectory of how we're working on our business.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So if this is making sense to you, let me know in the comments. Does this make sense about how you pick a very specific moment in time? For me, that was being on the phone with a very dear friend of mine as she was pouring her heart and soul out about a very trying time in her life. So it didn't actually happen to me. It wasn't even my story, you guys.
But it was extremely eye-opening to us.
But it was very impactful. And that was a very specific turning point in our business, because we stopped treating it like a hobby / profession, like this might be a little bit of fun for some extra cash, into, okay, how do we actually build a sustainable business online? What do we need to do? What resources do we have access to so that we can hit those results that we're looking for in an actual business, right?
And you guys, the thing to realize here is we all have these specific moments in time throughout our daily lives, and they do happen daily. They happen every hour. Okay, we have them constantly going on as we go throughout our daily lives. Okay, when we're talking to friends, or whether it's just something that happens at home, maybe with the kids, with their spouse, something like that. There are these specific moments. So we hear all the time, I don't have a story. You guys, it's a myth. Everybody has a story. Okay, we all have a story. We all have a specific journey that we've been through, and it's about getting specific about what that looks like, those specific moments in time, like Becky just shared, and pulling those pieces forward. And that, you guys, is what is going to connect with your audience. That is going to be that piece that is going to build that know, like, and trust, and have people start following you. And then before you know it, once they've started following you, you've built that know, like, and trust, suddenly they're reaching out to you for more.
Yeah, and you get those, like, again, people watch you,
Yep,
okay?
they do.
Social media is a great place for people to kind of just sit back and keep an eye on the people that they want to, you
Yes.
know, keep tabs on. And you may get a message out of the blue one day about you sharing something that was super impactful. So just because you may not be getting those results right now, you don't have, you know, 75 people on your Facebook Lives or maybe not a ton of comments on your Facebook posts. Keep in mind that people are still watching. They are still consuming the content that you're putting out there.
Yep.
And it is all shaping the way that they think and feel about you. So if you want to help your audience relate more with you,
Yes.
okay, get specific. Brainstorm, brain dump. What are those things that have really contributed to the choices and the directions that you're making in your business? Okay, positive and negative.
Yep.
Okay, again, putting your the positivity out on Facebook's great. So if you're sharing a story that was difficult or was negative, what was the silver lining? What was that thing that you learned?
Yep.
And you guys, if you struggle with sharing your story
Yep.
and really getting specific on what were those moments in time, we actually have a gift for you guys if
Yes.
you're interested. We have a group that talks about all things story related. Okay,
Yes.
so how to use them effective on your social media profile. If that is a training that you would be interested in having access to, let us know in the comments, and we will connect with you and get you more details on how you can access this group. It has a bunch of trainings in it. So if that is something that you would find beneficial to help you pull more of your story out, definitely let us know in the comments so that we can get that information over to you.
Absolutely. You guys, we appreciate you spending a few moments with us this evening. Hopefully things are going well for you guys. We appreciate you being on. You guys, remember to always be curious, be bold, take action, and remember that it is choice, not chance, that shapes your life.
Okay, you guys, take care and make sure that you tune in tomorrow. We will be back with some more tips for you on how to really maximize your leverage on social media to build out the perfect lifestyle business.
Yes.
Take care, you guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.